Hello everyone! So this was the warm-up that we were doing in class today, and this warm-up asked to find all the missing signs and angles. So this is what is given. We have only two numbers, 13 and 12. So how can we use these two numbers to find all the missing signs and angles in this triangles? So we already know this angle. This angle is 90 degrees, and we're trying to find this angle and this angle. And also, we are looking to find this side. So we know that the Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And we know that c is always the longest side, so we can start by labeling this side as a c. And this side would be the b. So we should start by labeling a squared plus 12 squared equals 13 squared. And a is what we're trying to find. And we can go ahead and plug that into the calculator. So 12 times 12 equals 144 equals 13 times 13, which is 169, and minus 144 from both sides. We'll get a squared equals 25. And so we want to square root both sides. So the square root command is press second, and you can see the square root sign up there. So we press this one to get the second. You can see it right here. And we should put 25, and we will get 5. So a equals 5. So we can say e equals 5. And now we have this side. And we have this side, so we have all three sides now. And now we're trying to find these two angles. So we have learned tangents in class, and we know that tangent of any angle equals opposite over adjacent. And if we want to try to find this angle, we'll label it as theta. And we can label this side as the opposite and this side as the adjacent. So we can label it as tangent of theta equals, this number is 5 over 12. Okay, and that's the ratio that we're setting up. And we can go ahead and plug that in the calculator. So the command we're putting is, so we should clear first, the tangent inverse. So press second, tan, you would have the tangent with a -1, which just means tangent inverse. So we use this command when we have the ratio and we're trying to find the angle. So we should put in 5 over 12, parenthesis, and 22.61986495 is the angle of theta. So we can say theta equals 22.62. So we're rounding the 9 up, so we get 22.62. And if this angle is 22.62 degree, then we can find this angle by using 180 minus this 90 degree, and then minus this 22.62 equals this angle right here. So we can go ahead and put that into the calculator. Plus 90 minus 22.62. Okay, so we found that is 67.38. So we can write it as this. So this, we're trying to find all the missing sides and angles. So we found this side equals 5, and this side is given as 12, 13, and this angle is 90, and we find these two angles. So we're all set for this one. Yay! So the next one is similar. So we're trying to find all the missing sides and angle. But for this one, we have one angle that we know, and we have only one side that we know. So, okay, we can start by saying that this angle is 90 degree. So we can find this angle right away. So we don't have to use tangent to find that angle. So we're trying to, okay, so we're writing it as 180 minus 90 and minus the 27 right here. And we get 190 minus 90 minus 27 equals 63. So this angle equals 63 degrees. Okay, so now we're trying to find this angle. I mean this side. So we know that tangent of any angle equals opposite over adjacent. And if we know this angle, this side is the opposite side, and this side is the adjacent side. So we can label it as tangent of 27 degree equals opposite, which is unknown. Put it as x. So x over 20, the adjacent side. And if we want to set it up, we can set it up as over 1, and then we can cross multiply. So it would be tangent of 27 degree, parenthesis, times 20 equals 1 times x, which is x. So x would be tangent of 27 times 20, which we can put that into the calculator. It would be tangent 27 equal to this number, and then we times 20. Times 20 equals 10.19. So we find that that side equals 10.19. Okay, so now we have this side and we have this side. So can we find this side using the a squared plus b squared Pythagorean's theorem? So this side is 10.19 squared plus 20 squared equals c squared. And we can go ahead and plug that into the calculator. By 10.19 squared plus 20 squared equals to this number. And okay, so c squared equals this number, which is 503.8361. And we're trying to square root it. So c would be the square root of this number. So we can put the second and the square root command and get to this number. So this side, the hypotenuse would be 22.446. 446. And we can go ahead and label it up here. 446. Okay, so this question asks us to find all the missing sides and angles. So we have these 2 angles, these 3 angles, and this side we found is 10.19, and we find this side is 22.446. So all set for this one. So this was the warm-up on this. And so after the warm-up, we have these 4 tasks that we were doing in class. Okay, let's start by doing the first task together. So the first task is this figure right here shown. So measure an angle of elevation on to the top of a tree from point 20 meters away. So we know that this side is 32 meters. And we have the angle is 42. And we're trying to find the height of the tree, which is h. And so we can set it up as tangent of theta equals opposite over adjacent. And this side, and we have this angle, so this angle is the theta. And this height is opposite to this angle, so we can label this side as opposite. And this side is next to this angle, but it's not the hypotenuse, so this side is the adjacent side. So we can label it as tangent of 42 degree equals h over 32. So this number, we can find it by plugging it into the calculator. So tangent of 42 equals 0.9004. Okay, 0.9004 equal to h over 32. So we want to find h. So we would write over 1 down here, and we would cross multiply. So 1 times h equals h equals 0.9004 times 32. And this is h. So h would be this number times 32, which is 28.81, which equals 28.81. And be careful. Look, when we're looking at the question, it says find the volume of h to the nearest meter. So nearest meter. So we would have h equals 29 meters. Okay. For task 2, if the angle the person is looking at is A, find A to 2 decimal place. So we can also set it up as tangent of A equals opposite over adjacent. So we can label it as opposite since is this side is opposite to A and this side is adjacent side, equals, okay, opposite over adjacent. So tangent of A equals 11 over 13. So remember when we were trying to find the angle, we used the command second tan, which we get the tangent inverse, and we'll put the ratio in. So it's 11 over 13. And this is the angle we have. So the question asks find A to 2 decimal places. So when we're trying to round, we can see that the third one is greater than 4. So we need to round it up to the second one. So it would be A equals 40.24 degree. Yes. So it was 40.236. Since this one is bigger than 4, so we need to round it up to this number. So we have 40.24. That's how we would round it to 2 decimal places. Okay, so the next one is more complicated because it's asking for this angle. And if we want this angle, we want to find opposite over adjacent. But the question is, we don't know this side. We only know this side and this side. So what we have to do is to use the Pythagorean theorem to find this side first. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And we know that this side is c, and we can set this side is a and this side is b. So we would put 5.3 squared plus b squared, which is the missing side, equals the hypotenuse square, 8.72 squared. So now we can put that into the calculator and solve for b. So it would be 5.3 squared equals 28.909 plus b squared equals 8.72 squared equals 76.0384, and we would minus 28.909 from both sides to get b squared by itself. So it would be 76.0384 minus 28.089. So it would be 47.9484. And we would square root both sides to get b. So b equals the square root of this number. So it would be 6.92. Okay, so we have this side as 0.92. So now we want to find this angle. So we can set it up as tangent of theta equals opposite over adjacent. And it would be tangent of theta equals 0.92. I mean, it's 6.92. Okay, 6.92 over 5.3. So we can plug it into the calculator by using second, tan, and then we will put in this ratio to get the angle. So 6.92 divided by 5.3. Okay, so 52.55 is the angle. So it asks to round the angle to 2 decimal places. So we will write theta equal to 52.55, 2 decimal places. Okay. And the last question that we were doing in class today was this one. So we're trying to find x, y, and z. So to start, we can find this angle and see, look at only this small triangles right here. So we have the opposite to x as this side, and the adjacent side to x is the 30. So we can set it up as tangent x equal to 15 over 30. And we can put that into the calculator by using the second inverse of 15 over 30 as the command, and we can find the angle. So second tan give us the tangent inverse, and we will put in 15 divided by 30 equals 26.565 equals the angle. So x equals 26.565, which gives us by using this thing into the calculator. Okay, so we know that this angle is 26.565, and now what can we do next? Okay, so we know that this portion is 10 and this portion is 15, so we know that this add up to 25. And if we know that this side is 25 and we know this side, can we find this one as a big one as a whole? Yes, right? So we would set it up as tangent. So we would call this side as z plus x. Okay, so tangent of z plus x equal to 25 over 30. So we can put that into the calculator by using second tan 20 over 30. So 25 over 30. So it's 25 divided by 30. Give us 39.80557. So z plus x equals to 39.8. Okay, so but be careful here, is this big angle right here, so we have to subtract this number by this number to get us z. So minus 26.565 minus 26.565, which is the same as x. So we would get z equals this number right here. So it would be this 39.8 minus 26.565. 26.565 give us 13.24. So z equals 13.24. Okay, so now we have x and z. So what's missing? Y, right? So we want to find y now. So what we're going to do is, we know that all three angles of a triangle add up to 180, right? So 180 would have to subtract 13.24 and subtract 26.565, and also we need to subtract this side, which is 90. So minus 90 degrees. So put these into the calculator would give us y as the angle. So let's put that into the calculator. So 180 minus 13.24 minus 26.565 and minus 90. give us 50.195. So this angle equals 50.195. We can put it here. So 50.195. Okay, that's it for this task that we were doing in class. Okay, so for these three tasks, we use the Pythagorean theorem and we use the tangent to find the angle and also to find the missing side. Okay, thank you for watching. Goodbye. Hope you have studied well for